Packers Nation. This might be one of the most critical off-seasons in Green Bay history, and what's happening right now could completely reshape the future of this franchise. 3 massive stories just dropped, and when you connect the dots, things start getting very interesting. What's up, everybody? Victor here, and welcome back to Packers Nation Report, the channel for real Packers fans. And today, we need to talk, because some very uncomfortable decisions might be coming. One report suggests that one of Green Bay's most reliable young offensive weapons could be heading straight into the arms of a bitter NFC rival, a move that could instantly turn into nightmare fuel for Packers fans, especially when you consider how thin this old offense already looked at times in 2025. We're talking about a player who helped move the chains, won contested catches, and played a massive role in this offense. And now, he could end up strengthening a team that already knows how to beat us in January. And that's not even the wildest part. Because while Green Bay might be facing painful losses, the front office could be quietly preparing to unlock over $90 million in cap space, without cutting a single player. Yes, and you heard that right. More than $90 million in financial flexibility. Enough money to completely reshape this roster, attack free agency aggressively, and finally push all the chips into the middle of the table. And if that happens, then this third story suddenly makes a lot more sense. Because reports are now linking a future Hall of Fame defensive lineman to Green Bay, a dominant force in the trenches, still producing at an elite level, who could step in immediately and give Jonathan Gannon exactly what his defense desperately needs. Last season, after injuries devastated the front seven, the Packers finished 21st in pass rush grade and struggled badly against the run. This potential move could fix both problems overnight. So now the big question becomes, are the Packers about to sacrifice a key offensive piece in order to build a terrifying defense? Is Brian Gutekunst getting ready to flip the identity of this team and go all in on a championship window in 2026? Because if these 3 stories connect the way they seem to, Green Bay isn't just trying to make the playoffs next season. They're trying to dominate the NFC. But before we break it all down, real Packers fans, I need you right now. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and only do it if you truly believe the Packers are about to take a massive leap in 2026. If you believe in this team, if you believe in this front office, if you believe a Super Bowl run is coming, you belong right here. All right, Packers Nation, let's get into it. Packers Nation, this news is one of those stories that honestly makes my stomach turn. Because there is a very real chance that Romeo Doubs could leave Green Bay and possibly land with the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, I said it. One of our most reliable receivers potentially joining one of our biggest NFC rivals. And if that happens, it could be absolute nightmare fuel for Packers fans. Today, we're breaking down why Romeo Doubs may be gone, why the 49ers make scary sense as a landing spot, and how this could dramatically impact the NFC playoff picture. Why the Packers may lose Romeo Doubs. Let's be real, Packers Nation. When you build a young, talented roster the way Green Bay has, eventually the bill comes due. You simply can't pay everybody. The Packers sped up that timeline with aggressive moves like the Micah Parsons trade, Jordan Love's extension, and major investments across the roster. And now, the financial reality is starting to hit. Romeo Doubs is set to become a free agent, and Green Bay may simply not be able to compete financially with some of the offers he's going to get on the open market. And honestly, based on his production, he deserves to get paid. Doubs' value and real stats. Let's talk about what Romeo Doubs actually brings. Despite inconsistent quarterback play early in his career, injuries around him, and constantly shifting roles, Doubs has become one of Jordan Love's most trusted targets. In 2025, 71 receptions, 842 yards, 8 touchdowns, 0 drops in the red zone. And beyond the numbers, Doubs does the dirty work. He blocks, he runs crisp routes, he wins contested catches, he makes clutch third down grabs. This dude is a coach's dream. Why the 49ers make terrifying sense. Now here's where things get scary. Pro Football Focus listed the San Francisco 49ers as the ideal landing spot for Romeo Doubs. And honestly, the fit is perfect. Kyle Shanahan's offense thrives on timing routes, physical receivers, YAC opportunities, high football IQ. Romeo Doubs checks every single box. And there's also a strong coaching connection here. Matt LaFleur spent nearly a decade working alongside Kyle Shanahan, and their offensive philosophies are extremely similar, meaning Doubs could walk into that offense and immediately thrive. Why this is a nightmare for Packers fans. Now let's talk about the emotional pain here. There are very few scenarios worse than watching your own homegrown talent go join a direct NFC rival. And the 49ers? They're already a playoff machine. Even with brutal injuries in 2025, they still won a playoff game. Now imagine adding Romeo Doubs to Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. That offense becomes absolutely terrifying. And suddenly, San Francisco becomes maybe the biggest threat in the NFC, standing directly in Green Bay's Super Bowl path. That's nightmare fuel. What this means for Green Bay. Now, from the Packers' perspective, losing Doubs would hurt. But Green Bay has been preparing for this moment. They've invested heavily at receiver: Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Matthew Golden, Savion Williams. This front office knew someone would eventually price themselves out. But let's be clear, replacing Doubs' reliability, toughness, and chemistry with Jordan Love is not easy. Not at all. Real talk, business versus heart. This is one of those moments where business clashes with emotion. As fans, we want to keep everybody. But from a cap standpoint, sometimes you simply can't. And if Romeo Doubs does leave, Packers Nation will always respect what he gave this team. But please, just not the 49ers. Anyone but them. Now I want to hear from you. Would you pay whatever it takes to keep Romeo Doubs? Or is this the right time to move forward with the younger receivers? And how would you feel seeing Doubs in a 49ers uniform? Drop your takes in the comments. Let's debate. Packers Nation. Packers Nation, this news is huge because the Green Bay Packers can potentially create over $90 million in cap space without cutting a single player. Yeah, you heard that right. No painful goodbyes, no brutal roster cuts, no blowing up the locker room, just smart cap management that could instantly turn the Packers into one of the biggest players in free agency. Today we're breaking down exactly how the Packers can do this, what it means for free agency, and how this could completely change Green Bay's Super Bowl window. But before we jump in, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Packers Nation Report, and help us reach our massive goal of 1,500 subscribers. Only true Packers fans are helping us get there. Let's go. Right now, the Packers are sitting about $1.4 million over the projected 2026 salary cap, which is estimated around $303.5 million. So technically, yeah, we're a little over. But here's the thing. This is nothing like the cap hell we were dealing with during the final years of Aaron Rodgers. Brian Gutekunst and Russ Ball have completely cleaned up the books. And now, the Packers are in a position of flexibility and power, not desperation. And that's where this gets really exciting. How the Packers can create $93 million without cuts. Using contract restructures and void years, the Packers could free up a mind-blowing $93.5 million in cap space. Here are just a few of the biggest numbers. Elgton Jenkins, $14.16 at Rashawn Gary, $13.92. Aaron Banks, $13.1. Xavier McKinney, $9.5. Devontae Wyatt, $9.3 as Jordan Love, $7.7. Josh Jacobs, $7.6. Micah Parsons, $1.1. That's just insane. Now, obviously, Green Bay wouldn't restructure everyone. That would be reckless. But even restructuring half of these contracts could easily free $40 to $60 million, which is more than enough to sign elite free agents, extend key young players, add depth across the roster. Why this matters so much for 2026. Here's what Packers fans need to understand. The 2026 offseason is not about rebuilding. It's about going all in. You have Jordan Love entering his prime, Micah Parsons as a defensive superstar, a young, explosive offensive core, a playoff-ready roster. This is the window. And the front office knows it. That's why we're hearing about ramping up urgency. And this cap flexibility gives them the ammo to strike big. Who could the Packers target with this money? Now, imagine the Packers walking into free agency with $50+ million to spend. That puts them in position to add an elite cornerback, sign a dominant defensive tackle, upgrade the offensive line, add another pass rusher opposite Micah Parsons. Suddenly, Green Bay becomes a destination franchise. Players want to win. Players want stability. Players want a young franchise QB, and Jordan Love checks every box. The risk of restructures. Now let's be real. There is risk. Restructuring contracts pushes money into future seasons. But here's the key. The salary cap keeps rising every single year. That means $10 million today is less painful than $10 million tomorrow. So, from a strategic standpoint, this makes total sense when you're in a championship window. And guess what? The Packers absolutely are. Gutekunst and Russ Ball Masterclass. Let's give credit where it's due. Brian Gutekunst and Russ Ball deserve huge praise for how they've handled this cap. 3 years ago, this team was stuck in cap hell. Now, they're one of the most flexible contenders in the NFL. That's elite front office work. Now, Packers Nation, I want to hear from you. Should the Packers go aggressive in free agency? Who should be their top target? Is 2026 the year to truly go all in? Drop your takes in the comments. Let's debate. Packers Nation, now we've got a massive defensive storyline that could completely change the future of Green Bay's defense. Because the Packers might be able to give new defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon the exact player he desperately needs for just $11 million. Yeah, $11 million. We're talking about a future Hall of Famer, one of the most dominant defensive linemen of the last 15 years, and a player who could instantly transform our defensive front. Today, we're breaking down why this player makes perfect sense for Green Bay, how Jonathan Gannon could unlock his full value, and what this move could mean for Micah Parsons and the entire defense. Gannon's arrival and defensive reset Packers Nation. Let's be honest, the defense in 2025 simply wasn't good enough. After Micah Parsons went down with a season-ending knee injury, everything collapsed. The Packers finished 21st in PFF team pass rush grade, struggled badly stopping the run, and consistently failed to pressure quarterbacks without blitzing. That's exactly why the hire of Jonathan Gannon is such a huge deal. Gannon is known for creative pressure packages, disguised coverages, versatile fronts, maximizing veteran talent. And now he's already reshaping this defense in his image by hiring Sam Seifks as linebackers coach, one of his trusted assistants from Arizona. So this tells us one thing very clearly. Gannon has a vision. The massive need, interior defensive line. If there's one area this defense desperately needs help, it's the interior defensive line. Green Bay struggled badly against the run. They allowed 4.6 yards per carry, ranking in the bottom half of the NFL. And more importantly, they couldn't collapse the pocket from the inside, which made life way harder for the edge rushers. Interior pressure is what? Forces bad throws, disrupts timing, opens lanes for sacks, destroys run schemes. And that's where Calais Campbell comes in. Who is Calais Campbell in 2026? Real stats. Yes, Calais Campbell will be 40 years old by week 1. But let me tell you something. This man is still an absolute monster. In 2025 with Arizona, 72.2 PFF grade, 26th out of 134 interior defenders, 6.5 sacks, 33 total pressures, 16 QB hits, 18 hurries, third in ESPN's pass rush win rate among defensive tackles. That's insane production for any age, let alone 39. Campbell is still elite against the run, a dominant interior pass rusher, one of the smartest defenders in football, a locker room leader. This dude changes defenses. Why Jonathan Gannon plus Campbell is perfect. Now, here's where it gets even better. Jonathan Gannon already coached Calais Campbell in Arizona. He knows how to deploy him, how to manage his snaps, how to maximize his impact, how to keep him fresh. That familiarity is huge. Gannon loves using versatile fronts and hybrid alignments, and Campbell is perfect for that. He can line up at 3-tech play nose slide to 5-tech collapse pockets, set the edge. This gives Gannon so much tactical flexibility. How this helps Micah Parsons massively. Now let's talk about the biggest benefit of all, Micah Parsons. If you put Calais Campbell inside next to Kenny Clark, suddenly Micah Parsons gets more one-on-one matchups, more open rush lanes, fewer double teams, cleaner paths to the quarterback. That's terrifying. A healthy Micah Parsons with interior pressure? That's Defensive Player of the Year level production. This move alone could instantly elevate Green Bay's pass rush into top 5 territory. The money. Why this is a steal. Now let's talk money. Spotrac projects Calais Campbell's market value at just 1 year, $11 million. That is cheap, low-risk, short-term, high reward. For a team trying to win now, this is exactly the type of move you make. No long-term cap damage, no dead money nightmares, no roster clog, just elite production, leadership, and playoff experience. Championship window mentality. This would signal something huge. The Packers are in full Super Bowl mode. You don't sign a 40-year-old Hall of Famer unless you believe your window is open. And with Jordan Love entering his prime, Micah Parsons returning healthy, Jonathan Gannon reshaping the defense. Young offensive weapons exploding, Green Bay absolutely has a championship window. Now I want to hear from you, Packers Nation. Would you sign Calais Campbell for $11 million? Do you think age matters here? Or is this exactly the veteran presence this defense needs? Drop your takes in the comments. Let's debate. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Packers Nation Report, and help us reach our massive goal of 500 subscribers. This is Victor, and as always, go Pack Go!